Hey YouTube, Lizzie B here. I'm just going to jump right into it. Today I'm talking about the Russian ban, my personal opinions on the Russian ban. And the reason I say that is because, you know, I'm coming from a privileged position of living in America, not having any family directly affected by this. You know, I don't have any Jehovah's Witness relatives that live in Russia, and so it's easy for me to give my opinion, and I'm very aware of that. But you know, I do have some thoughts about this, and you know, I just wanted to share them on my YouTube videos. So in this video, I will say, and I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this, and I'm, you know, sorry that that's the case. Hopefully we can still be friends, but I don't think it's a good. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think this ban is a good thing, and I'm hoping that in the days, weeks, months, years to come, that I'm wrong. I really, really, really hope that I'm wrong. I really hope that this turns out to be a great thing. And but you know, I've been thinking about the pros and the cons of it over the past few weeks, and I've even actually avoided other YouTube videos where they talked about the Russian ban, but because I just kind of wanted to know how I felt about it before I made a video and talked about it. And I have to say, once I found out that the ban was put into action, that they went through with it and actually banned Jehovah's Witnesses, it really kind of solidified for me how I honestly felt. And honestly, I'm really not happy about it. I think it's a bad deal. And so in this video, I'll talk about my reasoning for kind of being against this ban, and I'll even talk about the pros of the ban as well. Number one reason for why I think it's a bad deal, Russia's reasons for doing this are shady and maybe pointing to some upcoming persecution for the entire country. I think it's kind of like Jehovah's Witnesses in a sense are a canary. They're low-hanging fruit. They're a non-violent group, so there's no fear of retaliation. They don't vote, so there's no worrying about this group having any kind of political sway. And so it's an easy move on Russia's part to kind of make an example and kind of use Jehovah's Witnesses as a warning to everybody else of, you know, what's going to happen if the rest of the Russian people don't fall in line with whatever Putin is planning. So, you know, being that Jehovah's Witnesses are run from out of the United States, I really believe that this is a political move by Russia in order to kind of make a point. And Jehovah's Witnesses are the easiest group to be able to make that point with. If they were to ban this group, at least ban them for the shit they're actually doing. Like, ban them for the blood doctrine, for sex abuse, for brainwashing. Blow the lid off that shit. Like, let that be the thing that gets publicity. Let the whole world know that Jehovah's Witnesses are a destructive cult. Do that. Like, give that the publicity. But banning them for something that's going to make the entire world say Jehovah's Witnesses extremists, for real, really, it's only going to get them sympathy, and it's only going to do the next thing, my next biggest reason for why I'm against this ban. It's going to strengthen Jehovah's Witnesses' persecution complex. Anybody who knows anything about this religion knows that Jehovah's Witnesses have a doomsday mentality, a persecution complex. Anything bad that happens is because of Satan and attacking the religion. Remember the infamous bunker video, the one where Jehovah's Witnesses are being stormtroopered and having to hide from the government? Well, this is the governing body's wet dream. They fantasize about something like this actually happening in real life. And I mean, when you think about it, they fantasized about it so hard that they actually made a video with actors. They built a set. They did lighting. They had, you know, some good camera work, and they had people acting this out. And like, I mean, think about that. Like, I literally went to a convention and I sat and looked at that. I went to an actual convention and I sat and I looked, like, looking at the actual audience to see if people really believed it, and they were like stone-faced. Everybody really was hook, line, and sinker. And so for Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, that feel like this is a religion that they would, you know, risk imprisonment for, they would sacrifice their life for, this is very serious. And this ban is validation for those who think that way. This will strengthen Jehovah's Witnesses' faith in a destructive cult. Think about that. That for me is the biggest reason I'm against this ban. I have family and very close friends in the Watchtower, and I love these people dearly. I don't want them to continue to be brainwashed, and I don't want them to be lied to. I want it to be easy to convince them that the entire world outside of Jehovah's Witness religion is not bad and is not demonic. And this ban is going to make it so hard for me and for people like me to convince their friends and family who are Jehovah's Witnesses, that the world is not out to get them. This is going to make it really that much harder for us. So another thing, anybody remember the Watchtower movie, The Purple Triangle? It was a movie about Jehovah's Witnesses being persecuted during the Holocaust in Nazi Germany. And I remember as a kid that movie terrified me. And, hearing about people not being able to meet or have any kind of religious meetings or have any religious reading material, and having to hide and lie and being murdered and thrown into concentration camps, it gave me nightmares. It was just, it really, for me, it helped to solidify the feeling that Jehovah's Witnesses were the true religion, and that they were being targeted for that reason by Satan the devil, and that everything in the world, is the devil. And there are doomsday mindsets that I still have to get rid of on the basis of this religion. And even as an adult, I think they use these tactics to really get people to fall in line. You know what I mean? I remember when I was on a study with a sister, and she had asked me, what would I do if I had to deny my religion or be killed? Or I had to deny my religion or deny God or be killed or put in jail. And I have to do a video on that, a separate video on that, because the answer that I gave her was not what she was expecting. It was kind of funny. And but I remember at the time that she asked me that question, that I felt so guilty because I wanted to spare my own life. I didn't want to go to jail. You know what I mean? I felt so guilty for feeling that way. And I imagine how much they're going to use this ban to drill that into the minds of so many people. Because for me, that was a far away, kind of distant thought. Like, oh, I don't think that'll ever happen to me. But, but for these people, they're like, oh no, this is happening. So, all of the terrible things that this religion is part of, sex abuse, emotional extortion, blood doctrine, people are not going to be thinking about these things. People are going to be thinking about the human rights violations that has the potential to happen in Russia on the basis of this ban. And I'm going to be thinking about that too. But really, it's going to take attention away from what the group is actually doing that is destructive, and then making these people victims. So another reason that I'm kind of, I'm against this ban is because it kind of points to the possibility of something bigger happening, some bigger human rights violations taking place in Russia that is scary. You know what I mean? They might start with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and it might open itself up to other terrible things happening to other groups that are not deserving of that kind of treatment. And that's what scares me. So this might be the beginning of something scary. As far as the pros, I think there are a few things that are very obvious. The fact that this destructive cult will no longer be in Russia. It will not, be spreading. There won't be a number of people who become Jehovah's Witnesses on the basis of the preaching work and just a lot of things. So it'll squash that, and that's a good thing. There will be people that will perhaps wake up because they've had some distance from the religion. So that's also a good thing. And people who have wanted to get out and they didn't have a way out, this might, be a great way for them to get out of the religion as well. So there are definitely some pros, and that's not lost on me at all. But the cons for me outweigh the pros. And one thing that I was thinking about when I woke up, I feel like there were a number of things that really kind of made my skin crawl, after the fact, that in hindsight it just made me think, oh my God, that's horrible. I didn't think about this. But because I feel like you kind of wake up in levels. Like there are new things that you realize and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. But one of the things that really, really bothered me was knowing how many people suffered, and they needlessly suffered. They did not have to suffer on the basis of this religion. And I think that this is one of those things where people really feel like they're giving their all, they're sacrificing their lives on the basis of a religion that it is a lie, you know, that they've been lied to. And then in hindsight, you know, they could have woken up, and or maybe these were people that would have otherwise woken up, but now they're suffering on the basis of something that they're clinging to, that they really, really believe, and they shouldn't be believing it in the first place. So, you know, I'm sorry, I keep going back to the cons, but, you know, there are a few pros that can be gained from this. And, you know, I'm looking forward to knowing more. Like maybe, you know, maybe there's some good that will come out of this. I'm really, really hoping for it. So those are my thoughts. Feel free to have your own thoughts about this. If you want to celebrate, smoke them if you have them. I think today is like weed day for people who smoke. If you want to have a drink, celebrate, whatever. If you're feeling down, you know, you have every right to feel that way as well. I know I'm feeling a little down about this, you know, because I think it's a bad move. So, you know, feel free to leave your comments below, and I hope you're having a great day and a great week. And that's it. Bye.